Wednesday 3.
We're in Wednesday 1. He came from one of the toughest areas of Phoenix. Most of his friends.
You got people on the defense talking about it. You better get your ass to the ball. You better get to the ball.
I just gotta say, when it comes for Dallas Cowboys, well,
It's different. Had you stayed
For sure, they would have thrown it off because
and I go to bed every night like, Sneaky G, man, I promise you that. We What is up, Cowboys Nation, and also Falcon Nation or whatever? Do you have a nation? I don't know if you have a nation. You got
Falcons Nation, New York Knicks Nation, Atlanta Falcons, New York Rangers, and the Yankees are coming up soon.
Oh, I love it, man. Well, hey, hopefully you guys are doing good. Make sure if you're starting to roll in, you hit that like, subscribe, share. It's it's Super Bowl week. And I was just, I was telling Jimmy, I was watching Roger Goodell, and it's just crazy how big the Super Bowl has gotten. I saw a picture, J-Tuck's out at the Super Bowl doing some reporting, boots on the ground kind of stuff. And
big shot.
Out of his room is a huge, they turned the sphere into, they got the helmets and they got all this stuff. So it's just amazing what this, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
No, it is. And first of all, what's up, Cuts? How's it going? And again, Cuts by Jones, man. You guys check it out. He does great work.
Yeah. We'll talk about this throwback. I'm going to be honest with you guys with this throwback. So I'll tell the story on the throwback, but yeah. But anyway, you got to find a place to put that. Cut.
I do.
I got mine right. Which side is it? It's that side. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but the part of me wants to have it at work. I mean, I love this.
I know.
It's awesome. That's what I'm saying. That's my.
I know. Is Uncle Cheech? What did I miss them? I'm sorry. I was giving Cut some love. Go ahead and throw it back up there.
All right, so let's do it. So, Uncle Cheech has been hired as the new Dallas DC. Ultra. I'm surprised he wasn't teeing off on Aaron Boone already.
I know.
All
right. Let me give you the Jersey story.
Yes.
Give you the Jersey story because so I always wanted a Tony Dorsett jersey. So I go to Cowboys, the pro shop, and I mean you got to get a second mortgage to get anything in there. But there goes a Tony Dorsett. I'm there with my son, or was it my brother? One of the two.
Yeah.
I was there with them, and there's the Tony Dorsett jersey, and I'm like, man, I want to get it. And then I look at the price tag, $375 for a jersey. You understand that? $375 for a jersey. I'm like, dude, I mean. Damn it. I mean, that's a lot of bread to be thrown out there for a jersey. So I'm like, yeah. And then I looked for the size and it didn't have my shirt size. So I'm like, you know what? God is telling me you better not. Don't do it because you're going to either get in trouble at home or you're going to live to regret it. So I didn't get the jersey. So then I'm like, man, this is the 85 style. This is the color, everything like that. And I'm like, so I search on the web and here's this website, custom jerseys, yada yada. So I'm like, all right, man, this is gonna be perfect. And I said the only thing missing is a 25 anniversary, and I know I got it here somewhere. And so I'm like, I'm gonna buy the patch, I'm gonna sew it on, and that way everything is looking good. And then I get the jersey, and it looks nice. I don't know. I mean, does it look good? Does it look like a good jersey?
No, it looks great, man.
It does, but the only thing wrong with it, it's not a stitched on. It's basically that I got a Dak Prescott like that. It's what do they call that? 100% dye jersey. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that was like an iron on.
No, it's like a straight up, like a dry fit kind of, but it's just
no kidding.
I forgot what they call it, but anyway. So it looks nice.
Looks great.
I don't know if I can wear it. I don't know, but I like it. The patch would look stupid on it because it's not stitched on. So I just kept the patch. I don't know what I'm going to end up doing with it, but I like it. I always wanted a Dorsett, so I'm keeping it. I was like, man, if this thing looks legit, I was going to buy Eugene Lockhart. I was going to go get Tony Hill. I was going to start going through the archives. It was $100. So it was $100. But then when they screwed up my order, they said, we'll give you 10 off. So at the end of the day, shipped, it was $85 or something like that. But I don't know. I don't know if it's legit. I'm sure it's a little shady. I'm sure it's come out of China or something like that. But it looks pretty good. So that's the story with the jersey. So I don't think I'm gonna. I think this is the jersey I'm gonna have to keep for Dorsett.
Yeah, but you know what though, man? I wouldn't have known the difference. Like if you wouldn't have said anything, I mean, it's hard to tell. I mean, it looks great, man. For that
No,
kind
I
of money,
appreciate.
you can spend $400.
Oh,
Crazy.
well, and I did. Ultra said he almost got an Aikman. So I got the Aikman. I don't know if you guys have ever seen me. I do wear the Aikman sometime. That was only like $125. Has a Super Bowl 30 patch on it. Looks kind of cool. I did it for that. But I mean, I can't spend $400 on a jersey. Now, the only way I do it is if I use some gift cards and I have the Cowboys Visa card where I could finagle a bunch of, points and all that. And you can get it. But I couldn't bring my heart to spend that kind of scratch, especially when I just find out that Jerry sent me my letter. I know, Doug, you probably got it. They want our seat license deposit March 1st. I'm saying we haven't even gotten a defensive coordinator. I don't. You're talking about you being all in. I ain't seen nothing go all in yet. So what the hell are you guys got going on here? You want my money? You want all my money? But I'm not seeing the results. I need to see some. We got to see something in return. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you know what though? That was the biggest scam the owners and the teams ever came up with was the PSLs, the biggest scam ever, right? You got to pay for the seat and the season ticket. That's one thing the smartest thing they ever did to make money.
Oh yeah,
biggest scam going.
It
right?
is. And then if you don't pay it, then you lose it, and then they just give it to somebody else.
And then they say, "You're out of here.
Get out of here.
Get out."
It's like I remember an old comedian. He's talking about when he went to the doctor. At our age, you go to the doctor, and the doctor goes up there and he jams the finger. You know what I'm saying? You don't just jam it. You gotta tickle it, talk dirty, get me interested in the project. You know what I'm saying? At least let's get a defensive coordinator. Let's get something going. Get me a little pumped up to say, all right, man, I'm liking what we're seeing. I'll cut you a check. You know what I'm saying?
Get you a little bit excited. Exactly. Which you know what too though, but we got to take a step back. The one thing we didn't pay homage. Who passed away this past? Carl Weathers.
I did. We did a special show on Sunday, and I should have wore it tonight because you and I are more the Apollo and the Rocky.
Yeah.
And I wore the Rocky 3, and definitely sad day. Sad day when I got that news. And man, Apollo Creed, Carl Weathers. That was tough. I watched a video. Sylvester Stallone Rocky did. I thought it was pretty cool, but so many great lines. I mean, you know him, Jimmy. Come on.
No, the first what you said about Stallone, right? That was what he said out there about, that movie wouldn't have been what it was without Carl Weathers. That was a great video by Stallone. So, and you could tell it was heartfelt, but you can't turn that off and on like some radio.
Yeah, no. And what's up, Vince? It's funny because I played a I'm going to see if I can get it. If you can be patient with me, Jimmy. If you can
I
talk
can be
long
patient
enough.
all you want. That's fine.
All right, good.
But yeah, so, I mean,
here, go ahead. Well, this is the video. I got it up. So this is. I don't know if we get a copyright infringement. Let's see if you can hear it.
Change sometimes.
Can you hear it?
I don't want to change, man. I like who I am. I like who you are too. But look at that. You don't want to believe this, but that ain't us up there no more, pal. We can't do that the way we did it before. We're changing. We're like turning into regular people.
No, Stallion. Maybe you think you're changing. But you can't change what you really are. And you can forget all this money and stuff you got all around you, man, because it don't change a thing. You and me, we don't even have a choice. See, we're born with a killer instinct that you can't just turn off and on like some radio. We have to be right in the middle of the action because we're the warriors. And without some challenge, without some damn war to fight, then the warrior may as well be dead, Stallion.
Well, and it's funny. There's a meaning behind that, and I'd never like to get into work and things like that. But I'm in sales and do that stuff. And as you get change in your company, and your company, things change through years. And I sent this to my sales guys because they're saying, we got to change it, this and that. And I said, I don't want to change. I like and you have a style and you're a warrior in what you do and you can't conform. And, and it made me think of, the funniest thing was, it was the Friday. I sent this out to some coworkers and stuff like that. And then you get the news that, that Apollo or Carl Weathers, sorry, I keep calling him Apollo.
Yeah.
But passed away, and it was just like, man, that was just kind of weird because I hadn't played that or listened to that since you and I used to always,
That was the best,
you
man.
do those movie lines.
Well, what about when he's doing the press conference in Rocky 1? You're Italian, Rock, right? Yeah. What does that mean? Well, you know what? If he can't fight, I'm sure he can cook. Right? But also played for the Raiders, played for the Lions and the CFL.
Yeah.
Action Jackson.
I forgot about Action Jackson, but there was one other Predator. I forgot he was in
Yes, that's right.
Because Jesse Ventura came out, and when you started getting all these condolences and messages and stuff, I was like, man, he was in that. Action Jackson was a great movie. I don't know anyone in the 80s.
Old school.
That was an old school, was a great movie. But anyway, so yeah, it was tough. And it's like I was telling, Kelly and Greg last night. I mean, that was our generation, right? I mean, our generation, he was our childhood. If you're in your 40s, I mean, Apollo Creed and Rocky and all that. I mean, you believed all of it. I mean, I know Ultra's saying I bet on him, but you believed that stuff, man. When he got lost to the Russian, I was ready to go find some Russians. You know what I'm saying? We got to go have a war. I mean, killed Apollo. What the hell's the matter with this guy? So
I'm pissed. I didn't think to where I got the Rocky 3 shirt. I wish I would have wore it. Now I'm pissed. I didn't even think of it.
Yeah, I found a Rocky. I don't know if you ever gone to. What the hell is the store? They have all these old school shirts. It's in the mall. Damn it. I'll text it to you unless someone knows. But They had the Cowboys Super Bowl. If you ever saw me wear that Super Bowl like a caricature, it has all the 80s and 90s shirts. It had Mike Tyson. So I got a Mike Tyson shirt. I got a Rocky 3 shirt. I got one other old school shirt that they had. I bought all these. It was really cool. Like, I can't remember the damn name of it. It's going to bug me to hell. So
know what? It's funny because I have an old Yankees one like that. I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of the store though. But
it's yellow. Whatever the store, it's like yellow and black are their colors or something.
Well, like the shirt I got from Hogan's shop, not far from you. Last time I was at your place.
Yeah. He had the Thunder Lips shirt, and it was like a perfect shirt, and they didn't have my shirt size, so I couldn't get it. But Danny and I, when we met Hogan, what, a week ago or so ago, we went to his store to kill some time, and they had it there, and then didn't have the size. Man, it sucked.
To all my love slaves out there, Thunder Lips is here. You know what? I thought it was Tony Dungy.
I know, he's down at the rally trying to get the stadium. Hey, let's talk some football. We'll talk some Super Bowl, but I was listening to Roger Goodell, right? So he does this press conference. We're kind of talking about it, and just some interesting things that he was talking about. Officiating came up quite a few times, and he didn't really think there was some issues with officiating from the answers that I heard. Now, I didn't hear the whole interview, so someone correct me if I'm wrong, but he seemed to defend the officiating. They talked about sports betting, and it was funny. A guy played an interview or just recited what he said, or quote what he said about sports betting, and if it were ever to be legal. This was like 4 years ago, before it was legal or anything like that. He said there'd be concerns with point shaving, center missing the snap, questionable calls, all these different things. And when you kind of see some funky stuff going on, in the NFL today, it makes you wonder. But so they talked about sports betting. I mean, what was your kind of thoughts? One, on officiating, and I guess he's got to defend it, and then on sports betting, and then lastly, people said, would you ever see a streaming Super Bowl, pay Super Bowl and streaming services? And he defended that by saying a lot of people prefer streaming services, so they're just curtailing to what the audience is asking for.
No, a couple of things. Well, first of all, again, it's them, they're watching our show, they're plagiarizing us, because we sat here last week and talked about point shaving and betting and how it's affecting things and the officiating. So, you know what? There could be something to it. How is it that there's so many blown calls or non-calls? Even in that damn championship game against, with the Raven, 2 at the end, one was definitely a PI and the other one was pretty damn close. I don't want to hear that there's not officiating problem, and it could have some correlation to the betting. Now, the funny part is, I'm going to get to a second about the streaming, but one thing about football and the NFL, we all love it. We watch it. I've been a Falcons fan since '89. You've been a Cowboys fan longer than that. Let's think about it. Fantasy football squares, and now the betting is really what pushed the NFL to where it is now.
Oh,
And
100%.
nobody can tell me differently because you don't basketball, hockey, baseball. Those seasons are too long to have such an impact like that. So that's my opinion on the betting situation. Now streaming, I don't know, man, because there's so many damn streaming services out there. There's literally 20 different streaming services. What do you got? Have every one?
Yeah.
Right? I don't have any. And I won't. I mean, for certain reasons. I don't need that, right?
Yeah.
And nor will I pay for it.
Yeah. So your ratings don't matter.
My ratings don't exactly. So, but
I mean, football. The thing that and he did say the thing that's always been cool with football and basketball. I mean, the others not so much because you really think about it, they're on paid cable, right? All baseball and all that. Football, for the most part, except now Monday nights on ESPN, pretty much all their games, I guess Thursday with NFL Network, but 90% of their games are on free broadcasting.
Yes.
You know, free broadcasting.
True story. Yeah.
So that's what I use Team B. It's an excellent service, affordable streaming service. A lot of channels. You could definitely, if you don't know them, you can hit me up and I can tell you about it. But yeah, it's very reasonable because some of these get outrageous. You start getting some of them, and it's just you end up spending. You think you're saving money on cable, and the next thing you know, you're spending like $500 on all these streaming services, and then you can't figure out how to cancel them. I mean, good luck trying to cancel any of that stuff and trying to remember it.
No,
so
I don't know. You make a valid point though. You are right. So if you look at the NHL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, typically on what you would call free TV, broadcast TV, there's basketball typically 2 games a week, hockey maybe 1, sometimes 2 a week. Baseball you'll get 2 usually, but everything else like TNT. Turner owns all this, right? And ESPN, ABC, right?
No.
So that's a great point you make about that.
Yeah, and I think that helps with football and it helps with the popularity of it too. Oh yeah, I meant to make a post for that. Let me get some love, man. Roger Staubach, 82, man, and we had Tony Hill on who played with him. Tony Hill's is much younger, but 82. Yeah. Wow, I mean that's just it's amazing. But hey, he's still out there. I don't know if he could sling it like he used to, but he's still I know at a lot of events. So it's Captain Comeback. He's a legend in Cowboys Nation for sure. So the other thing that Goodell, was talking and gambling and what I was going to say too, it's funny. The Super Bowl's in Vegas. So don't patronize us like we're a bunch of idiots. You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't talk about all this stuff you do at gambling. You got the Super Bowl's in Vegas, the mecca of it all. So let's, Goodell is like a politician, man. The more the more you hear him speak, I mean, he's definitely, he's got his stuff together. The other thing he talked about was injuries. He said injuries are 700 less than last year, game-ending injuries. And then they were talking about there was less injuries on artificial turf than grass. Now, I don't have all the numbers to prove that. I don't know how that could be, but maybe it is. I don't know. I saw a lot of injuries, non-contact injuries on turf, so I'm not really sure.
And that's where your non-contact injuries are. And you know what, with Goodell, it's all posturing. You know how that guy works. Like you said, he'd be a hell of a politician, man. No. But I don't believe that for a minute. That stat, there's playing with numbers. You can do anything with numbers. Those non-contact. Damn,
Did you say that again?
Yeah, I know. Did I? Yeah, you're right. Exactly. That's what I think of Roger Goodell, right? So the non-contact injuries are happening on a regular basis on those turf fields.
No,
and nobody can doubt that.
Absolutely. So. Well, we're going to get into the Super Bowl. If we get into the Super Bowl, I mean, we're talking big game, big scuttle. We got to break it down properly. I mean, right? Jimmy and I, we're fans and we can break it down for you. But if you're going to put your hard-earned money and you're going to put trust in someone, we're probably not the two that you want to put it in. But I mean, lucky for you guys, we have someone who has the knowledge, who's been studying this thing. I don't know if he's ever gotten a Super Bowl game wrong. I think he might be perfect. I mean, he might be pushing for the perfect season. But let's get him on here. Let's go find Mr. Uncle Cheech. I don't know if he's in Vegas. He's hanging out. What are you up to? You heading out to Vegas? Are you going to Vegas? You in Vegas? Or you hanging out at home?
I'll be heading out there Friday night. I told you my friend Salvatore lives out there now.
Yes.
the ex-boxing promoter, whatever he was at the time. But anyhow, I've been giving this game a lot of thought. Two things stand out to me. Common opponent,
Yes.
the quarterback play. Common opponent, they both played the Ravens. Kansas City played them on the road. San Francisco had them at home.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco got a good beat down. The Chiefs held them in check.
Yes.
The quarterback play, they're both playing well, but if the game was on the line, who would you want as your quarterback today? I'm not saying 5 years from now, the other guy might not know what he does, but today, who would you want as your quarterback? So I'm going to take the Chiefs plus 2 points. They run their dogs in their last 2 games. I think they'll do enough. Probably be a close game. Should be a good game. Pretty evenly matched. So
Yeah.
but
What
I'm
do you have
not
any?
Chiefs.
Do you have any? No, I don't want to say surprise. Maybe not a player, but is there anything in that game that that people might not be looking for that may happen? Whether it be the running game might surprise, or the Chiefs' defense is very stout. I mean, could they shut down
Well, the
McCaffrey?
Chiefs running game might surprise you.
Yeah.
Pacheco, he's a good running back. I mean, everybody's talking about what's his name on the
McCaffrey.
49ers, McCaffrey. Their running game is respectable, I'd say.
Yeah, and they've been playing better. Like the running game has gotten going more for them. It was almost kind of like last year where Pacheco comes out and he starts going, and you got McCaffrey. Obviously, I'm with you, Uncle Cheech. I'm going Kansas City. And there's a couple reasons. One, Mahomes, of course. 2, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I don't like the 49ers. I don't like their fans, except for
I don't either.
Piper. Campbell Piper's the only 49er I like. I'd actually root for him. I'd be happy for him only. But these fans are ruthless. I'm still getting hate messages. I'm still getting them talking about my family. I still got them talking about Jimmy. I still got them talking about Uncle Cheech. I still got them talking about my man Kelly K9. I'm over these Chief fans. Bang, bang, 49er gang. I'm sick of hearing it. I want to see you guys get your ass whooped on Sunday. And that'll make that'll be the only salvage I got to the most disappointing season in Cowboys history.
See, now for me to make money, I got to listen to Uncle Cheech, right? But what I want to happen is for this sideshow, this freak show, Kelly and I were talking about on social media the other day, this nonsense with Swift and Kelsey. I'm over it. I want them to lose. For Camel Piper's sake, I'm rooting for the Niners. For the NFC's sake, I'm rooting for the Niners. And that's all there is to it. And I hope they stomp a mud hole in them. But that being said, to Uncle Cheech's point, to Mike Tag's point, Pacheco, he's been taking care of his business the last 4 games and really upping it in the playoffs. So that's scary.
Yeah.
Who's this Kareem of Wheat? So Debo was out when they played the Ravens. They beat
now we're making excuses. Now we're giving up.
They beat him by 4 touchdowns, didn't they?
They beat the hell out of him. They beat the hell out of him.
They killed the death inside of 1 quarter.
This is not whiskey. This is for my dear friend Apollo Creed.
Thank you.
Shot and a Zet. To celebrate my last show of the year, I imagine.
Well, we're going to have you on as a special appearances. What's the matter with you? We got to have you on maybe a post game, and we get back on there, get you results.
Okay, I can do that.
What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you?
More importantly is, like we said, you're a champion. You're the champion in Vegas. I'm wearing a champion jersey. We had 2-time Super Bowl champion James Washington. We had Super Bowl champion Tony Hill. We got to keep champions on this show because we got to somehow get the mindset that the Cowboys can be champions once again instead of waiting all this time. Because I don't have. Well, how many years was it for Apollo? How many years with Paulie?
Oh yeah, I don't.
6 or 7. I don't know what it was.
I can't remember.
I don't remember, but I don't have that long.
Yeah.
We need to win a championship, and I need to get something going before I stroke a check, as they say, to Jerry for my seat license due on March 1st. I better see something happen, and I got to see a defensive coordinator. And Cheech, let me ask you, obviously you're in the know. You got some leads, you got some insights. So you got Rivera coming in there. You got Vrabel's an outside candidate. Zimmer coming back maybe to Dallas. He had some nice years there. I know Jerry likes to be comfortable with his coaches. I mean, what are you hearing anything with the Cowboys defensive coordinator search?
I haven't heard much. So I wouldn't hire Ron Rivera though.
No.
He loses wherever he goes.
I don't. I mean,
he just be psyched on these losing coaches.
Yeah,
that don't make sense to me.
Can I ask you about something? So if I understand right, this is McCarthy's final year on contract.
It is.
Okay. So do you think that can impact who they're hiring?
But see, Holy Terror, what's up? Good to see you in here. But the thing I would say is, I don't think it does, for the fact of there's only so many jobs, right? And if you do good, if the Cowboys defense, let's say Cowboys defense does very well, the team does very well, that lines you up for a coaching job. I mean, the Cowboys are on TV all the time. You're going to get the exposure. Or if things go a little south, but your defense is good, maybe you have an opportunity to succeed the coach if they let him go. So I still think the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator job is a very attractive position for Vrabel, who I know is kind of what I call the sexy pick. It's kind of like I think he's the one pick that would get the Cowboy fans all pumped up, right? Because Rivera's not going to do it. Zimmer is a guy that they're going to say, but Zimmer is a guy who's been consistent everywhere he goes. Dallas, he had some good defenses. The Bengals, good defenses. Was coach of the Vikings, went to a championship game with the Vikings. They had solid defenses. So I think Zimmer is and I'll agree with Ultra. I think Zimmer is the better option. He's just not the sexy one. He's not the one that's going to get everyone all pumped up because they just want some big change. Like Al Harris is the name, and Al Harris grew up in our hometown, Jimmy. You know, you remember him. He graduated in our year. I don't know. They're saying him defensive coordinator, but he's never been a defensive coordinator. He may not even want to be. What do you think, Cheech?
Hey, you got who's going to do the best job. If he wants the job, out of the three candidates, I think it's heads above Zimmer.
He said, have a job.
Yeah, and if Mike is truly on the hot seat, why would DQ go to Washington? Yeah, Kelly. I just want to say, Kelly answered it. I think Dan Quinn his days were numbered there. I don't think he was. I think the defense. I talked about it yesterday. We talked about it. They got embarrassed by Buffalo, really embarrassed by Green Bay. Let's talk about it. They couldn't stop Miami on the last drive. Arizona Cardinals beat the hell out of them. 49ers beat the hell out of just up and down the field. He's been out schemed. And even James Washington talked about it. And I'll take the word from a two-time Super Bowl champion. He said he got cute in the Packers game. They got out schemed, doing things that you didn't do all year. He didn't want to do, but he was trying, he's worried about the other guys he's coaching. He's never beaten one of the coordinators that was on his staff with the Falcons. I can't believe the staff you guys had. How the hell you guys didn't win a Super Bowl is beyond me.
Okay, how we didn't win a Super Bowl? Because Kyle Shanahan decided to throw the ball in the second half up 28-3. I want to kick his ass up and down that field every time I see him.
Yeah. No, I get it. Hey, man, I get it. The thing on Vrabel, it came out. I read this article. A GM came out and said Vrabel is not getting a lot of the looks because of his stature and intimidation, that some of these GMs and owners are intimidated by. He's and I don't know. I mean, Dan Campbell, if anyone's seen Dan Campbell, that dude is
it's a monster.
Big dude. I mean, there's some big coaches. I don't understand. I don't know if I buy all that. I mean, that must be some stupid ass GM that would say something like that. Maybe it's Rosen, what's his name? Howard
Rosenberg.
Rosenberg, is that his name? Yeah. Maybe he's saying it because he's like a little twerp, but I don't know any other. I don't know any other real man that's gonna be worried about that. You know what I'm saying, Jimmy?
Real man fight them setups.
Setups. And for those of you guys don't know, we're mixing in Rocky lines. So some of you guys may say, "Now you're making some inappropriate thing." It's all Rocky lines that we're moving in.
Exactly. So
any of you guys are offended, but yeah. So I told you, Uncle Cheech. We got a common person in our circle, and hopefully we'll be able to see you down there. We got a whale, and I don't mean whale in stature. I mean whale when it comes to casinos. He's the big dog. People, when he comes in, they part like the Red Sea and roll out the red carpet. They're getting him gifts. He's getting showered with all the best tequilas and sunglasses and all this kind of stuff. So he said, "Hey, Mike Tag, I've been following you. You're coming down here. You come hang with me. I got you a room at the Guitar reserved. You bring your wife down." He knew as the anniversary was coming up, so I'm going down to Hollywood, Florida, and going to the the Seminole Hard Rock and gonna be hanging, living the lifestyle, just riding the coattails of this of the whale of the Hard Rock, and hopefully get some tips because this man is a money making machine.
I've been hearing about him going down. I go up there every now and then.
Yeah. Well, you know.
I'm going to meet you guys up there.
You need to.
He's a big shot.
Me and I'm going to bring Carmenuch and Vinny Smaldone and have a little dinner, a couple of drinks, then we'll go out, play some roulette, shoot some crap.
Well, the funny thing is they used to do this big brunch, right? In Hard Rock, they did a big brunch and oysters, crab legs, and all the fine fixings, bottomless mimosas and all this. And so I told him, I said, "Hey man," I said, "what are we doing for breakfast? We're gonna go." He goes, "We're going to go to the brunch." I said, "We're not breakfast. We go to brunch." I said, "The brunch is $125." He said, "Hey. You're hanging with me. You don't worry about the money. We're going to be winning so much at the roulette table. It's going to be a mere bag of shells. It'll be like a tip for him." So I'm excited. I haven't lived that lifestyle. I'm not a big gambler, but I'm excited to see if I can live this lifestyle of the rich and famous that this young man's been doing.
And he's going to have that can of peas and that champagne cocktail. Hey, wait a minute. When are you going down there?
February the 15th weekend, whatever that weekend is.
Really?
Yeah. 19th,
Okay.
18th, 17th.
Wait, whoa. Okay, so
not Super Bowl weekend, the next weekend.
Oh, I'm missing you by like 5 days. That sucks.
No, we're gonna go down that Friday.
I don't get to go hang out in the Guitar.
Yeah, well,
I'm not getting brunch.
Hey, I'm just Hey, he's a fellow friend of the show. So if you need me to send you, get the contact, you get treated like royalty. So see what happens.
Big shot. I'm sure he's taking cabs.
Word's already around the place. I've been hearing about him.
Oh,
I'm looking forward to meeting him.
No, I know. I mean, I just hope I don't embarrass myself. I'm throwing out $5 chips. He's throwing out the hundreds and 500, laughing at me. I don't want that. I mean, I got to be careful. I still got kids. I got to get ready for college. So.
Got a reputation to uphold.
So, all right, Uncle Cheech, any final words for the Super Bowl? Anything that you like to do for the Super Bowl? Any superstitions? Anything?
I don't know. Like I told you, I'm going out there with Vinny Smaldone and not Vinny Smaldone, Salvador.
Yep.
Sally. We're gonna hang out at his condo. We got the big screen. Gonna have a nice spread there. Big antipasto, calamari, lasagna, chicken cacciatore. We're gonna have a big Italian spread. I don't know who else is coming, but we'll be there. I wish I could go to the game, but I'd rather spend time with my old friends. And
it's going to be much better.
And I'll personally be betting on the Chiefs when I get there.
Bicchiere di Chianti.
Yeah. Hey, you enjoy it, Uncle Cheech. You enjoy yourself. This is a lock. You understand what I just said, Uncle Cheech? I don't know if he's ever lost a Super Bowl. So you guys know what to do. And if you get in trouble, what do you guys got to call? What is it?
1-800-GAMBLER.
I heard there was another one, 188. I saw that on there.
But when I come back next season, I'm going to give you the whole rules, the whole spiel, what to do if you want to make money. I think I was about 75%. this season on my locks, which is a good percentage. Guarantee if you followed everything, you made a nice piece of change.
Yeah. No, and we're going to do something for the cave next year. Jimmy D and I, we're going to make $100 bet on the lock of the week. Every week, we're going to reinvest, and we're going to see what happens at the end of the year. We're going to show you the kind of scutall you get listening to Uncle Cheech. So you guys make sure, entertainment purposes only, make sure you follow and listen very closely to the advice he gives.
My financial advisor is Uncle Cheech.
Yeah, he ain't taking 1%.
Exactly.
All right, guys.
All right, take care. We'll see you.
A presto. A presto.
We'll see you, Uncle Cheech.
Salud. Migliore. So I love it. The JoJo, or whoop, I think I got missed it. Where are you? I saw Karima Wheat made something funny talking about JoJo the whale. But listen, I also see in the highlights, Ultra and Kelly play
There's
nice.
There's going to be a little battle. There's a battle going on. There's a battle going on. I saw it out of the corner of my eye, and I don't know. It got some heat. We might have to get this thing settled in the squared circle, or maybe on our show. Maybe I have to get this settled on the show. But I don't know what were they fighting over, Jimmy? Help me out.
They were fighting. They were fighting over Dak Prescott and the next defensive, the next DC and this and that. And then it started going downhill from there. Vicious attacks.
We don't like. Hey, you guys understand? Kelly's he's an integral part of the Cowboys cave. So I'll always come to his defense, and he's been critical. That's we all have. I mean, I don't think there's a fan around here, a Cowboys fan, that has not been critical of this team. Greg was on our show, Jimmy. Greg, who is the ultimate. I mean, if I'm the ultimate optimist Cowboys fan, if I'm one, he's 1A, we're 1B, we're there neck and neck, and he doesn't, and he's at loss for words. And he's, we're all distraught over what's going on. We all want to see things obviously improve. We're sick of being the butt of the jokes on the national media, but you got to accept it. And right now, that's why I'm wearing the throwback stuff, because I'm gonna go back to the memories of old. And that's why we keep bringing champions in the cave, because we're gonna just get these Cowboys minds right and start thinking like a champion. But it's to the point of, and get your opinions outside. It just doesn't look like the Cowboys have the dogs. It doesn't look like they have that James Washington, the players that weren't like, all right, the all pros and Pro Bowl guys year in, year out, but they were the leaders of the team and they held everyone accountable, and they played with a fury about winning championships. And I think that's what this Cowboy team is missing.
Well, to Kelly's point, yes, I'm always sporting Falcons gear on Sunday, on Super Bowl Sunday, and every Sunday for that matter. But cream of wheat. How about a box match at the next tailgate? That'd be fun. Arranged. That'll be a good time. That'll be fun. But to your point, again, if you look at, we talked about San Francisco, they got some dogs on a defensive linebacker, man. They got guys who are like Eugene, they're hungry.
No,
right? So that's what you need. But at the end of the day, and I'm not trying to get Kelly and Ultra going at each other anymore, but sorry, man, Dak in the playoffs, no matter who is calling plays, he just has issues in the playoffs. Again,
well, and let's just talk clearly, because Kelly's not on here to defend himself. He's critical of that. We all are. I mean, everyone is saying, Dak has to be better. I mean, there's no doubt about it. But what I'd say is, you have what you have. There's not many quarterbacks. I mean, except unless his name was Patrick Mahomes, that can carry an offense. I mean, that's just the facts of it. I mean, Purdy is in the Super Bowl when he didn't have McCaffrey. When he did, like Debo, right? Kareem said, "Oh, Debo didn't play." There's Tua. There's guys. You need all your weapons around you. Allen, all these quarterbacks, they all have the common thing. And you look at it and say, well, if you're paying a guy $60 million, he's got to be able to carry. That shit is done, man. Quarterbacks are going to be paid the premium dollars no matter what. Daniel Jones got premium dollars. All these quarterbacks are going to get it. The Cowboys' fatal flaw was no running game. Maybe they should have picked up the phone to Atlanta to get one of their running backs when Atlanta got, Bijan, or maybe they could have gotten Derrick Henry at the trade deadline.
I could have
gotten Cooks. Maybe they could have gotten Fournette, who was on the street. Kareem Hunt, not Kareem of Wheat, Kareem Hunt. Maybe they, they could have done something to address it, and they chose not to. And I'm just telling you, I'll say it to my grave, on the offensive side of the ball, that was their demise. And Dak is not going to carry the team. You've seen it. They got rid of Cooper. They did the Dak friendly offense years ago and got rid of Des Bryant. They brought in, what was it? You had the Alan Hearns, and you had what's his name, the little guy that was a receiver. You had all these guys that and it didn't work. He needs Beasley. He needs playmakers, and he's got CD. CD had a phenomenal year. Dak Prescott statistically had his best year last year under McCarthy.
So now to your point, well, first of all, Kareem, that was easy. Teams were handpicked. But, speaking of receivers, Stephon Diggs is running a mouth again this past weekend. So the Bills have until June 1st to either trade him or cut him. They'll shave $19 million off their salary cap. So he might be available. Hey, wouldn't he want to play with his brother down in Dallas?
No, and I think those are things that they're going to have to think about. Something like, I like Steve, we need to re-sign Cooks. I don't know. And what I mean by that, I like Cooks, and I think he's a very good receiver. But I don't know, do the Cowboys look at like a Mike Evans, Stephon Diggs? I mean, if they have an opportunity to get a guy that's going to be a different, a little bit different than, bring something different to the game, more physical, bigger receiver like a Mike Evans, maybe they go that route. I don't know. It's still early, but I think when I hear the word all in, I think they're going to have to make some moves at running back. They're going to have to make some moves at linebacker. And I think Gallup's gone. I don't think they'll re-sign him. I don't think they'll re-sign Pollard. So they're going to have things. They're going to sign CD to an extension. That's going to free up a lot of money. You don't know what they're going to do with defense when you get Zimmer in here, how the defense they're going to need to bring people in, but accountability is the most important thing. Whoever they bring into this team, whatever players, I want them from championship pedigrees. I want some dogs. I don't need high-priced defensive guys. It's that tier that just they command respect and they want to win championships.
Well, it's like I told you last week. We have this guy Nick Landman on the Falcons. You never heard of him, right? But every game we played, everybody said this guy wants it. He wants it. Every Falcons podcast, this guy wants it. He's a dog, and that's what you need on defense, right? But I think to your point, a run game, I'm surprised you guys didn't try to make some moves. Your offense was so damn prolific. I figured you guys thought you'd cruise through the playoffs, but you still need a running game in the playoffs, man.
You do, and I knew it was going to happen. We talked about it. You and I talked about it. Kelly and I talked about it. Greg and I talked about it. Everyone in the chat, for the most part, 90%. How the hell does everyone who has eyes know that we have a running game problem, except the ownership and the general manager doesn't know it? And you did nothing. I mean, Deuce Vaughn was a non-factor, and that's not the running back I'm looking. He's more of a gadget guy. You brought in Ronald Jones, he got suspended, or he did, whatever it was, and they never addressed it. They never addressed linebacker. They let Harper, right? Cut Harper. They cut Jabril Cox. All right, fine if you cut him. They brought in Evans. They had opportunity to get bigger at linebacker. They had nothing. Dan Quinn wanted to go with these light guys, and it paid a price. They got run on. And like I said, the Dan Quinn defense thrived when the offense jumped ahead. When the offense made the other team's offense one-dimensional because they jumped on them, because then they pin their ears back, you get turnovers, you do all that kind of stuff. Now, that's what Dan Quinn did well. The problem was adjustments. When your back's up against the wall, when you get punched in the mouth and you're down. It's why so many Cowboy fans, and I know Doug in the chat, he says it a million times, I want the ball. I want the ball first, because he knows damn well that we got to get started fast. We got to get started fast and get things going to feel better. And the Cowboys you can afford anybody you want. Don't give me that crap with the salary cap and all that garbage. You can afford anything you want. Anything you want.
You got to tell Jerry, what are you bringing up that salary cap crap for? It's ridiculous. You guys it's like you guys, again, it's like the Yankees, right?
Yeah.
We have tons of money. We spend it though. I mean, I'll say we spend it. Just we have a horrible, between our manager and our GM, we suck. But you guys have the money, spend it. What's the problem?
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, but Jerry's gonna be
and Kelly's right. I don't mean to interrupt. Kelly's right. The salary cap is a myth.
It is.
It's spot on.
Look what the Rams, look what all these teams end up doing, and you look at it. What do? You re-sign CeeDee Lamb. He was due 20-something million. You kind of move a lot of that money to the side. Now he's 7 million cap or 8 million cap or 5 million cap, whatever you end up doing, because it's a shell game of money. They could do the same thing with Dak Prescott. Extend him, frees up a ton of money. You're getting 10 million back from Pollard, who's franchise. You don't bring him back. You could Gallup, you don't bring him back. That's going to free up money. There's ways you can free up so much money. I think they showed the Cowboys can free up like $80 million or something like that in a snap of a finger. And most teams can. Let's just be honest. Most teams can. Look what Philly has done. Look what some of these teams have done. Look what the 49ers have done. Look at the roster. They got McCaffrey. They got this. They got that. You could do it if you wanted. They were in the NFC Championship game last season, and they still went out and got guys to improve their team. That's the difference. That's why it pisses me off when I hear owners, especially one like Jerry Jones, who has a sold-out stadium, has all the merch that they can think. You're paying $370, you're charging $375 or whatever the hell it is for a jersey, and now you're going to tell me you're all in? This year you're all in? Now we're finally 30 years later, you're all in? You know what I'm saying? It's like, give me a break.
You know what it is, though. The only thing you don't want to do is kick the can down the road like we did with Matty Ice, and all of a sudden you have this inflated cap, which was a real cap at that. That was the hard cap at that point, and we were screwed for 2 years. Now to Ultra's point, and I said this, I mean, look, it's true. Dak hasn't played well in the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely.
I would, in a heartbeat, take him in Atlanta. Trade him to us. I will take him any day of the week, and I think less pressure in Mercedes-Benz would work wonders for him and our running game. And we obviously have to give up probably Pitts, but we still have receivers.
They were talking about you guys drafting Bowers, the Georgia tight end. It blew my mind. I saw a mock draft, and I'm like, God, they got Pitts just sitting there. They're gonna. But then I saw Drake May following you guys in another draft, getting a quarterback. But the thing is,
Holy Terror says no.
No. Here's the thing with Dak. He played great until the playoffs, right? And I think Dak's the problem too. Dak is not going to carry your team. You have got to have running game to support him. You got to have weapons. I mean, show me quarterbacks that aren't. I mean, show me quarterbacks that aren't getting guys to carry their team. I mean, except Mahomes. I mean, everyone talks about Joe Burrow. I mean, look at those receivers that he's got. I mean, look at, he's got a top 10 running back, maybe even top 5, top 6, whatever. He's got weapons. And it's so evident that he gets hurt and they got some backup with some some guy who didn't even play, and they're winning games and he's putting up a bunch of points. So, you know what I'm saying? It's easy. It's easy to say, all right, get rid of Dak and go get some other quarterback. And you could get Trey Lance. You want to do that? Fine. Make it an open competition. I got no issues with it. But if you're going to get rid of Dak, you got to get someone better. You got to bring in someone better. That's why I say open competition. He's never been pushed. Let's push him. Let Trey Lance have a shot at him.
You know what? And you talk about the running game. Look at us. We were 8-9 last season, and we had Bijan and Tyler Algier. Algier, again, he ran for 1,200 yards in his rookie year. Bijan is Bijan. And that's what Bijan getting screwed over for a few games, which nobody has been able to figure out yet what that was all about. Imagine if we don't have them. We probably win 3 games last season if we don't have those guys running because our quarterbacks were terrible, right? Yeah. But imagine we have a competent quarterback or a manager, a field manager, whatever the hell you want to call it. We're in the playoffs if that's the case, right? Because we have the running game. It opens up the pass offense. You and I have been saying that for years.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You got to have. I mean, it's they still you talk to anyone in football and they always still say you better be able to run the ball. I don't care how these offenses and if you look at Kansas City, how are they winning? really good defense, running the ball. I mean, Mahomes has nobody except Kelsey. I mean, really. I mean, his receivers drop passes left and right, but they're running the ball, moving the chains. Got Kelsey there, but they're playing really good defense. And the Cowboys got defensive guys. I mean, they've got defensive guys that can be playmakers. I mean, you're going to get Diggs back. You still got Bland, right? You don't know what you do with Gilmore, but I'd be fine with him back if they can work out a deal. But if they don't, I mean, there's money saved there. So there's a lot of things that they're going to do, and it's going to be interesting. I gotta get a strong feeling that they're, when they say all in or whatever, but there's an emphasis on let's fix the problems and address them and get this thing rolling. So, but they got to get a defensive coordinator sooner than later. So,
But the thing is, Dak killed it the entire season. What was he? 35, 36 touchdowns and like 7 interceptions.
He's an MVP candidate. He's an MVP candidate. I mean, he is. He must have got a vote, because the only way that you're on that stage is if you got a vote. And he's got to be a candidate. Someone voted for him.
I mean, now look. So now you have Justin Fields was already talked about being traded, right? And now I guess with the new offensive coordinator that Chicago's picking up, it's more and more like he might be traded. So he might be available.
Yeah.
Tua's looking for an extension down in Miami. Like you said, he needs receivers, right? He's not going to, hold a team like Mahomes does, like you said.
Yeah. Jesus, who the hell's bringing up Grossman?
So I saw that at some point and kind of chuckled. And
Rex like, Grossman. What the hell? That was a year of. It was an interesting year. The Bears went to the Super Bowl, right? They played the Colts, and it was kind of like a terrible Super Bowl. It was raining and
fell asleep.
But the Bears were basically Peanut Tillman and Devin Hester. That was their team, right?
Devin Hester.
And Peanut Tillman was like, he was kind of like Bland in a way, of just a lot of turnovers. And I just remember fumble returns for touchdown, all that kind of stuff. And then Devin Hester was just like the old they used to call what's his name, a human joystick. I mean, Devin Hester was bad from the U, and he was the one when he came out in the draft. I begged Dallas to draft him, because I said, dude, I don't know where the hell you're going to play him, because they put him at receiver, they put him at running back, they put him at cornerback in Miami. But the one thing he did consistently was return punts and kickoffs, and that dude would always take it to the house. So, yeah, maybe
it could be a sports psychiatrist.
Yeah, who's the one in Tin Cup? What was her name?
Oh yeah,
get her.
Hey, Ric Flair went to a sports psychiatrist too,
and we joke about it, but that's, I mean,
yes.
There's something. I mean, it is. I believe that. You saw it with Romo. You see it with some of these quarterbacks where the bright lights just kind of it does something to them, and then you get these other quarterbacks that the bright lights is when they play their best, and you've got these journeyman quarterbacks that have come out of nowhere, and then in the playoffs in the Super Bowl they look like a totally different player.
Hey,
and there is definitely something to be said for that. Maybe what you do is you get Dak to get you to the playoffs, then you have your backup play in the playoffs. Maybe that's what we do. Maybe that's an option. Maybe get Trey Lance or whoever's going to be their backup, have them be ready and do all the work and get everything. And as soon as the playoffs start, you put him in, and then you just let Dak be the backup, and that way you don't have to worry about it.
See, I'm thinking Trey Lance is sitting there waiting patiently because he thinks he's going to be the starter at some point sooner and later.
Well, I think it should be open competition. I think every position should be open competition. I don't think they should have anything, guaranteed. There shouldn't be any positions guaranteed.
Dell says we're cracking up. We're funny like what? Like a clown?
Or like a clown? We're funny like a clown? What's going on here?
But I agree with you, and that's the thing. You have guys going in. You got your obvious guys who are going to make the cut, but it should be open competition in the NFL, especially because you can cut guys. Yeah. Right? It ain't like the other three major sports. You can cut people. And you know what? That's the business of football. I'm not trying to be mean or whatever. That's the business of football. It should be open competition.
Yeah. Well, Holy Terror, she's not digging Trey Lance. I'm not 100% sold on him. And but I'll just say is let's look what's under the hood. Let's just see what he's got. All right. I mean, he has played a lot of football. I mean, I hadn't played a lot of football, but I would just see what he's got. I don't know. And I'm not saying that they keep him or what, I don't know how the whole I don't know how his contract is. He's on his rookie deal. I think this is his last year of his rookie deal, so this would be the one. But I would just see what you got. You don't know, and I would play him in preseason. I'd play Dak in preseason. I would make it a competition. I think competition makes everyone better. I mean, Jimmy Johnson, if you want to go back to his methods and the way he did, it was always about competition. It was always about, competing for jobs and competing for for playing time every day. And it was done in practice. Now, practices are different, right, Jimmy? I mean,
That's
it's
right.
a country club now. They keep doing 2
Can't
days.
do anything.
Ads, any of that stuff. So it's a little bit different. But I think there still needs to be a competitive nature in there. So, and San Francisco didn't give him a chance. They ended up finding, what's his name? Purdy.
Purdy. Yeah.
But that was it. Listen, all you guys riding on Shanahan's jock talking about he's the greatest. I mean, Jimmy's the only one who won't accept that, but everyone else is talking.
No.
He was handpicked. Do you understand? Handpicked, like Mickey said, all of Rocky's opponents were. He was handpicked by him. So if you think that this Kyle Shanahan is a guru, there's a reason why he took him. There's a reason why he traded up to take him. I think the 3rd pick. And they gave up draft capital for it.
Yeah.
So there's got to be something there. I'll give Mike McCarthy his due. Mike McCarthy, you guys, he develops quarterbacks. I mean, you've seen it when Matt Flynn came to Dallas as a backup in Green Bay and beat the hell out of us. You saw him figure it out with Cooper Rush, and they went 4-1 in the games. He's a good quarterback. Dak Prescott's best year of his career was with McCarthy. So you don't know. I mean, who knows? I mean, did they think Purdy was going to be any good? I mean, you just don't know. I think Cowboys should definitely get competition. And I think, I forgot who said it. These teams should be drafting quarterbacks every year.
Well, and and to your point, you're right. What is Trey Lance, right? Now, I've been a Purdy fan since last season. I've been a shill for Purdy. But that being said, hey, look, Trey Lance hasn't had any opportunity. Like Big E said, give him a chance. He hasn't had any opportunity to prove himself.
Give him that
Give him that same exact. Damn it, you took it from me. So, but that's the thing. I mean, so when he gets a shot, let's see what happens. Where is it going to be though?
Yeah. Hey, you tell him if McCarthy ain't no coward, why wouldn't he play me then?
Now, Ultra brings up I know he's taking a dig here, but if Hurts plays bad this year, they'll move on from him. I mean, look, Hurts and the Eagles, I mean, they were killing it first half of the season. Then they went spiraling, lost the locker room. Sirianni lost the locker room, and at the end of the day, you know what? I wasn't that sold on Hurts anyway.
No. They're gonna have a hard time. I mean, they're gonna have a hard time moving on from him. I mean, I don't see that. I don't see that happening. That would be catastrophic for them, but they'd have to deal with it. They did it with Wentz. I mean, the key is, can you find a quarterback? If you get a quarterback that you can offset, that pain. But the thing about Philly, maybe what I would give them, maybe in Dallas, is their fans are just ruthless. And I think the Philly organization bows down to their fans. I don't know. I just think because I listened to some Philly radio after some of the losses and stuff because it was fun. It was fun driving, listening to it. But they wanted everyone's head. They wanted all the coordinators gone. They wanted this gone. They wanted that gone. They made a lot of major changes. But I don't know. I don't know if their GM is as tough. Like Jerry's going to do what Jerry wants to do, right, wrong, or indifferent. And unfortunately, for the most part, it's been wrong for us for the last 30 years. But I don't know. Philly's a little different. Well, the way they do shit.
Well, to your point, Philadelphia, in any sport, their fans are ruthless, rotten, rude. You got to be careful. You got to look over your back when you're down and filthy. Any of those games, any of those teams down there. But, and you wonder sometimes, do they let the fans and talk radio, determine what they're doing?
They seem that, right? I mean, they've been that way a lot. And I don't know. You're closer to Philly than me, but it seems like their fan base really can impact management decisions on all their sports. Maybe.
Yeah, I wish we can impact the decisions with the Yankees,
but the Yankees don't because their owner. He's going to do what he wants.
Exactly. But what's funny in New York sports? It doesn't happen on any of the teams,
Yeah.
right? They don't cave to W66, to WFAN radio or ESPN radio. They don't cave to any of that to us. I
Yeah.
mean, you can see that. It's pretty
No.
clear, right? So
No. So anyway, but yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. So let's wrap it with the Super Bowl, right? So we got the Super Bowl. Are you with Cheech? Are you and anyone in the chat? Who do you got? Let's just break this down real quick while we're wrapping things up in the last show. Who you got? The 49ers, you got the Chiefs. Who we taking? Jimmy? Well, I know you're kind of where you're leaning, but let's you got to take emotions out of it. We gotta take emotions out of it. We got to talk facts. So if you're going to tell me your team, I need to know why. I need to know your why of them winning the Super Bowl. And definitely in the chat, San Francisco or the Chiefs. Run it down.
okay.
Go ahead.
My opinion, San Francisco by 10. Uncle Cheech is spot on about Mahomes. Everybody knows, what Mahomes is all about. But Purdy, look at the weapons they have, and they've proven in 2 playoff games that they can come back. Now, granted, Detroit kind of melted down, which helped San Francisco come back in that game, but they came back in the Packer game, the week before that. So they've come out and they've ripped teams in half. They came back twice when they were down in the fourth quarter. And you know what? I think they're going to win by 10. They're too tough. They're too brutal. They have too many weapons, and I just can't see Kansas City in a spot where they shut them down.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take a step back. Talk about the Chiefs and the Ravens again. Mahomes did what he had to do. I'm not going to take that away from him. But Lamar, he was not on his game, and they don't have nearly the weapons that San Francisco does. So that's my thoughts.
Now, and if I take the emotions out of it, I look at the teams, I look at that, and I think with Doug, to me, it always comes down to the quarterback, right? And it's hard for me to pick against Mahomes. And I think about the Chiefs defense and what they did to Baltimore and what they did to Buffalo. Now on the road, I mean, the thing is, they had to go on the road. They were underdogs. This is a 3rd game in a row that they're underdogs. Amazing to me. You have the best quarterback in the NFL, hands down, and you've been underdog in 3 straight games, 3 straight playoff games. I think the defense is the difference with Kansas City. When I see San Francisco, the thing is, what I'm not seeing in San Francisco is that defense that I saw earlier. I saw really, you can argue the Packers outplayed them 58 minutes. San Francisco gets the win. You got to give them credit for that. Then you look at the Detroit game. Detroit up and down the field like the little Evans midgets. You remember when I'm going to get you, sucker, whooping your ass up and down the field? Sorry. And so, you get that, and that's what Detroit was doing, and I'm going to get you, sucker. They were up and down the field. So I just think Kansas City, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game, but I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm taking Kansas City to win outright. But if you're going to throw me 2 points on top of it, I'm going to take Kansas City.
Well, you know what? I guess we'll see what happens next Monday. Unfortunately, I probably won't be here next Monday to either, take my lumps from everybody out here or cheer. But, I guess we'll see what happens. I told Mike Tag I got some stuff going on, some family business. Hopefully I'll be able to jump on at some point next Monday.
Yeah. Well, no, that's the most important thing. So first of all, thank you, everyone. Make sure if you're still hanging with us or if you're checking this out later, hit that like, hit the subscribe, share it, do all that great stuff. We love having everyone in here. We got Thursday. Kelly is going to have to, he's going, I don't think we go solo. He'll find somebody. So he's going to have someone on. I am unfortunately going to be traveling, taking care of some family business, maybe stopping off at Vegas. Maybe I'll see Uncle Cheech out there. So make sure you guys check us out live. Again, if you hadn't hit that bell, you're missing out, because you're missing out on some content that we drop every now and then. You see me in the morning. I know Kelly came on. He dropped some about CeeDee Lamb. You're going to get that more and more, some just quick videos from all of us. Just some thoughts are going on in sports world. So make sure you hit that bell so you don't miss any of that. And more importantly, we have a ton of plans to have some interviews over the off season, getting in some former Cowboys, getting in some former NFL players, maybe some rivals, looking at some college guys, looking at some, hopefully some national champions coming into the cave, some Super Bowl champions, try and really get this thing rolling with some championship mentality, get this pedigree going. So until then, you guys have a great week. Enjoy yourself. We won't. If I don't talk to you before the Super Bowl, enjoy it. It sucks Dallas isn't in there. It doesn't make it very good, but it's still going to be a great Sunday. It's one of my favorite times.
You know, it sucks that it's not on a Saturday.
I know. Why did they do that? They should ask. They should ask him that question.
Exactly. Ask the real fans.
Real fans.
A few back. It's a work night, you know. So,
yeah. So, all right, guys, take care. Have a good one. We'll see you.
Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry.